I'm Kyanna, this is my magazine Amplified. When I was doing a survey after I'd created my magazine, I asked the audience questions, so what gender are you and what age they are, and the majority of the people who answered my survey were male, and most of them were in the age range of 17 to 19-year-olds. The genre of the magazine that they thought it would be was mainly indie, which I was actually aiming to go for as well. When I was doing my I find that I've improved in my skills in using Photoshop then, as I was not very experienced and never using it before. I'd not used much, because I'd made a double-page spread for my contents page. I hadn't really made use of that space and left loads out. When making my front cover, I went for a main image of the two people who are mainly stuck in my band. And that was just to show the sort of cute side to them, if that sort of, because they've with the images that I took in the photo shoot, they had quite a serious face on that, so I just thought that would sort of settle it down a bit. For my main image, for my masthead, I went for quite a bold font on sutton..MPG. I like the idea of it because it sort of steps away from the whole idea of the magazine, but it And through the skyline, I used a number of words that described my magazine in different colours, so that just keeps with the idea of the neon elephants. In the third left, I put a free CD, a sample of the bands that have been on the magazine. I've also got a few of the contents that are on there already on the page. There's also an offer about to win an electric guitar. When I asked on SurveyMonkey to my audience, I asked them which one thing would they change for the front cover, and a couple of them said they would improve the layout of it. Some of them said that it would make the colours bolder. There'd be more detail on what's in the magazine, and the font. One of them said the font of the neon elephants on the front cover was a little too hard to read. When I made my contents page, I kind of stuck with the house style of the magazine of having a black background, the small red masthead, but I also stuck with having a bold title on it, so it sort of stands out from the rest of it. I used a couple of images on here, one of another band called Duplicity, who I'd involved in my preliminary task, and I just I researched what contents would be on a music magazine when looking on the enemy contents page, human contents page, and I realised that a lot of them had the features and regulars. So that's that. I asked also the audience what would they change on there. Some people said the writing, and another person said that they'd focus on music rather than the celebrities caught on camera. But another person also said that it was very well designed and very professional. It's the same thing when I made my double-page spread that I kept with the bold title. I hand drew this image of the neon elephants and scanned it in. So I then cut out the images of the members of the band and put them in. So it kind of adds an individuality to it. And then I had this stand first in a different font, so that stood out at the start, all in one paragraph. So they knew that would give them a bit of information about what the double page spread is about. And on both of these pages, also, all the pages also, I've kept example. I put the web address for the magazine, so that kind of increases the advertisement of it. It's also been put on the CD in the front cover. And I also asked about the same question about the double page spread. They said one person said that they'd prefer if there was better spelling and grammar, general linguistic skills could be improved a bit. Some people said that there could have been a better main image, maybe coloured in the elephant to one side and have a bigger picture of the band. Yeah, there's all of them. What media institution would I use to distribute my magazine? I would distribute my magazine online and throughout small convenience stores if I was actually to sell it or put it on the market. I would also rely on the word of mouth of customers when they buy the magazine, because they will talk about it and increase the popularity to buy the actual magazine. When it's set in shops as well, if it was, I'd have it sort of set at the front in between the rock and the pop genres, because it's obviously a mix of all of them. Who would my target audience be? Well, my target audience, which I generally wanted to go for younger people at the age of 16 to 24, but it's good if it attracts a wider range of age range, as it will show that like more people are bringing an interest, because I aim to have a mix of like things in it that attract other people. The models I used in my magazine are also at the age that I aimed it to be at, which a lot of people did guess it would be between 16 and 24. So I decided to use that so it would kind of, so that people could relate to the magazine easier, and they'd find it easier to find in shops and stuff. That's the end.
Okay, thank you very much for that. A couple of questions. So in a sentence, who is your target audience?
My target audience are probably students, the age 16 to 24, who are interested in a mix of music, not just to one genre. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And how much are you selling your magazine for?
My magazine, I can't even remember. I'm selling it for, I can't even see, for £2.
£2. Okay,
Yeah.
That's great. Because you want it to be sold where? You want it to be sold?
In small convenience stores and online.
Okay.
If it
So
was
small
able to.
convenience stores would say that this is quite a mainstream, populist magazine.
Yeah.
Would that be right? It's not niche in any way. It's not specialist. The sort of music that it would feature would be.
Oh, I did say in one of the articles that one of the bands I've included here, the Neon Elephants, one of their idols were like the Kooks and sort of bands like indie bands like that. Yeah, but they don't just stick to one genre. They'll include rock bands. They'll include pop, R&B.
Okay. What inspired you for the masthead?
I guess I was looking at some of other articles in magazines and stuff. I saw like the sort of broken effect, and I liked the idea of it, so I searched to find something different and then coloured it to make it more stand out.
Yeah. Primary red really stands out.
Yeah.
What have you learnt about technologies from the process of constructing this product? Not just Photoshop, but what other technologies have you worked with?
I learnt, obviously with Photoshop, I learnt how to do the editing the images, to cut out things from text and stuff. But I also learnt to use like Blogger and stuff, which I'd never actually come across before.
How did you find it?
I found it quite easy. Yeah, it's once it's been sort of explained to me, it's like easy to do, because they're quite, it kind of helps. I can't think of what to say now. No,
It's better than the old art books in terms of publishing your work, is it? Or
sorry?
Is it better than the old art books in terms of publishing your work?
Yeah, that is.
You prefer publishing your work online? Or?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it that way, because it's, I don't know, I find it easier to do it like that, because it's also the internet and stuff like that is becoming more popular now.
Okay, thank you very much.